It's a lovely time with us here in the 15-minute studio, and I am excited as always because this is one moment you will leave all that you've always wanted to do and then have a lovely chat with our personality. I have a guest in the studio who is, for me, multi-legged. She's doing several things at the same time. But let me not empty my guest out. Let's see what she is and who she is together. Her profile.
Our guest today in the 15-minute studio is an acclaimed education therapist, a film director, producer, and an actress, Dr. Badewa Adejugbe-Williams. Born to the royal family of Adejugbe-Aladesomi, the princess went through primary and secondary school in Ekiti State and quickly moved to the United States of America in 1981 to pursue her dream in acting. She earned her Bachelor of Arts degree with a double major in English and Drama and minor in journalism. She obtained her Master's of Arts in Theater at the California State University, Los Angeles. Our guest, Princess Badewa, is the first black stage manager of theatrical production at Jacksonville State University, Alabama, and stage managed several plays, including Death of a Salesman. As a director cum producer, her skills were evidenced in Wole Soyinka's Death and the King's Horsemen, among others. With success trailing her, she formed her own production company in USA. Dr. Badewa's interest in education developed later in life, and being a near perfectionist, she followed it to the apex, obtaining a doctorate degree in education from Capella University, Minnesota. Since then, she has accomplished many accolades with her works on special education for children. A member of several committees, both in the media and education, she is a continuous pivot for success. She is a proud mother of 3. Let's herald an exceptional mother, a total woman, an accomplished producer, actress, and a princess, Dr. Badewa Adejugbe.
We can deal. And nice to have you seated with me in the studio, Badewa. Princess, I know you don't like that, but let me use it for once. Princess, because I can't meet a royal blood and not address it. All right. Nice job you're doing there. I was at an event not too long ago, and I saw the beautiful thing you're doing with the children.
Thank you. Thank
All right.
you.
We'll get to talk about that, but I didn't want to tell them before we started that you know a whole lot of what I'm doing. You're an actress?
I got into acting after I moved to Hollywood, because to act in Alabama was very hard. We did have a play, for colored girls, which I was in, but I didn't really get to strut my stuff on the Alabama stage as opposed to when I was in Los Angeles, in Hollywood. That was when I really delved into it. But acting, of course, we had to also try to propagate our culture. We didn't want to be typecast. We didn't want people telling us you have to play servants, every time you act. So we decided, let's do what we do best, which is play ourselves. So we took up all our own productions, African plays, most of the time.
In spite of having had your master's in the acting world, you still went back to get a doctorate in education. What motivated that?
My children.
Tell me.
My life changed dramatically. In the 80s, late 80s, I was really excelling in acting, and in producing actually, because I started my own production company. And I had 4 major movie projects I was developing for film production. So I was excited all over the place, constantly traveling, constantly hanging out. You network at night, so I was always out.
The life of a producer, actress, everything.
Yeah, very hectic. So when I now met my late husband and I had children, initially they were a handful. They were normal children, just like any twin you would have. You have your hands full where you have twins. But it was very hectic for me in the beginning. So their dad went to Nigeria. So I had to actually let them go back to Nigeria. I was having difficulty having a nanny that would stay with them, consistently, because I was always working and traveling. But when I found out down the line that my children were having challenges, it was very difficult. It was very hard to accept. I was angry. You know, I was furious. I was angry with God. Like, why me? You know, how could you do this to me? Knowing the kind of person I am, I actually was hoping my children would be better than me, you know? So now to find out that they had a challenge and they were struggling in school, I just couldn't take it. So I decided researching.
And it has actually paid off, not just for your children, really, for other people, other children. Because I see that you're running a foundation for special children. You want to talk about that?
When we moved back to Nigeria in 2008, I was looking for a school, appropriate school for my kids. So they would finish their secondary school, you know, in Nigeria, and also move on beyond, you know, schooling. It was difficult. I couldn't find anything that was appropriate. I did find some special schools, but they were for children with more profound disabilities. And people don't understand that disability is very broad, different ranges of it. And every aspect, everyone is important. You can't just educate some population and leave the rest, because we all impact each other one way or the other. And then I was going around schools, observing other, you know, school populations, the school systems, how the teachings were being done, and I wasn't comfortable. So I hired home tutors to come home and work with my kids. And even at that, I found that most of them were not as competent as they should be. They really didn't have that training, that background in, you know, diversifying their instructions and the strategies, because children are different, they learn differently. I decided, you know what, I should start a school. This is what I did it so well in Los Angeles. I know I did it so well because my students excelled. You know, when they took the standardized assessments, my students were constantly getting better, competing with their peers without disabilities. You know, and even at their levels, they were better. You know, so I know if I could impact them, and of course, see my own children, they're way better than they should have been, because I had a hands-on approach to their education. I feel like other kids will need that, you know, and I should be able to provide it for them. So that's why I want to have the school. But it's not just for special education, it's for everybody. My focus, though, is that those with special needs, they'll fit in, and they'll get the differentiated instructions that they need. They'll be taught with the learning styles, that's their strength. So it's just a whole new concept that I'm bringing to Nigeria, that based on my experience, based on my observation, that I want us to do here. Well, you know, we're a different culture. We also have to take that into consideration. So I've been doing a lot of research, talking to people, interviewing parents, talking to even the children themselves.
Something that actually peek out from your story, your resilience, you know, your ability to surmount, you know, and then face the challenge, the problem, and then prefer solution.
Parents need to stop hiding. Don't care about what people think or what people say. They've said things to me, they've said things about me that I've heard about, but it brushes off. Those are just words that don't stick to my personality. I brought them here, they're me. You know, they're a reflection of who I am. So if I leave them at home and hide them, I'm hiding myself. So I need parents to realize that their priority is their child. These children, not what others are saying. So what is good for this child? Let's look at the content of the child. Yes, there's some environments that you don't want people to come too close to your children because they may hurt your children, so definitely keep them away from that. But bring them out into the life, bring them into life, let them live. They have chances, and you know what? Every exposure is a learning tool for them. You don't know when that learning moment would be. Yes. You don't know when they'll realize, oh, if I cross that street by myself, I don't look left, I don't look right, I may get hit by a car. If you don't even take them to the street, how will they know? So let them start learning things, life situations, and living life.
Basically, your child is a part of you, and whatever you do, you can't hide yourself. So you shouldn't really be hiding your children. That's a good one, and it can only come from the heart of a mother, a true mother, really. And I know, as a mother, you do other things to relax and make a family. Yes. What do you do?
I'm a social butterfly.
Oh my God.
And of course, being in entertainment, you can't help it, you know. And every day is a learning experience for me. Even for my job, you know, I go out there, I see what's out there. So when people come, especially from the diaspora, I'm able to tell them, go hang out here. go to this place. Or if you are looking for, you know, authentic African meal, that
This is where to
this
go
is
to.
where to go. If you want to try something Italian, this is where you go. So I'm always doing that. I belong to an association. It's Nigerian Diaspora Alumni Network. We're kind of a network of returnees. So we band together to help each other out, you know, soft landing, advice, and hang out. So we hang out a lot, you know.
Okay, I'm actually going to join you because I'm returning from
Awesome.
United States of Abriba to Abuja. That's a good one.
Welcome to me, Dan.
It's okay. So you get to show
Yeah.
me where to hang out and how to hang
Okay,
out.
definitely.
All right. So when you're not doing that, what else from relaxation for you?
Movies. I watch movies. My kids are movie freaks, you know. Being in the industry, definitely, and I read a lot.
Nice having you in the studio, and
love
keep up the
being
good
here.
work.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
When I'm thinking about acting, I always like to carry my people along, and I have two of them who are really superb in doing that. Okay, Suleiman, Ruth, are you coming with me?